and welcome to Midnight Readings. Today we will be reading the first of 2018 will be Cursed Be He That Moves My Bones by Lucky Dreams. Yes, it really should be a Halloween story, however, I couldn't find anyone to play some of these characters, so I hope you enjoy my try. Oh, and I relented. Night is taking part in this story. Enjoy! It was 1:30 bedtime, but the feel of midnight had arrived early. That tremblesome feeling when the world lies silent and monsters lurk beneath hospital beds. Sweetie Belle couldn't sleep. She was too ghost-wary to sleep, and so kept glancing at the medicine closet where a pack of shadows had gathered to escape the moonlight. "But you know," said the closet, in a voice fit for gnarled trees in a winter storm, "it's not bad being a ghost, not once you get used to it. Oh, the fun you'll have! You can scare ponies you don't like. You get to visit your own funeral and then haunt your gravestone. Here lies little Miss Hornskull, your parents will say, our darling diseased death, our late skeleton in the earth. How we miss her." Sweetie shivered under the blankets, reminding herself that closets didn't speak. Closets were dead wood, brass bolts, and steel screws, and whoever had heard of screws that talked? Even so, she gulped and said, Why would I go to my own funeral? That's weird." "Weird?" replied the closet in a groanful voice. "Why would you not go? Why would you not want to see how loved you were? Going to my own funeral was the best decision I ever made. Make no mistake." Sweetie stared at the closet. The closet stared right back at her, unblinking. "Closets don't go to funerals," Sweetie said at last, though her voice was only half sure and a quarter certain. "And they don't know when to be quiet and quit lying." The closet shook its head, or rather, with no head to shake, the doors opened and shut ever so slightly, and it said, "Ha! You honestly think that I'm the closet? Oh, that's precious. I died right in that bed of yours. Such a gruesome, ghastly death it was, too. 12 doctors by my side, and not a single one of them could save me. But I digress. I merely haunt this closet, because the bed is strictly for patients. It is the most terminal of fools, the no-hopers, the final stops, the end of the lines." "No, you're lying!" "I saw the doctors in here earlier, tap-tapping against your horn. I heard the surgeons muttering. It sounded serious." "I don't care! Leave me alone!" "You have to think of something to carve on your tombstone. Sickly Belle, while you have the time. Here, something like this. It's a work in progress, but you get the idea." The ghost in the closet cackled, chortled, then began to chant. Its voice was that of tombs and graveyards, and maggots sinking coffins buried in the earth. "Cursed be he that moves my bones. Cursed be she that digs." Sweetie clambered from the bed onto the moon-soaked tiles. Her horn, her throbbing, pounding horn, which was the reason she was in hospital in the first place, ached with every step. A pain like hammers, like mallets. Yet she fixed her eyes upon the closet and marched towards it. The ghost continued. "Cursed be they who crack this stone, be boiled alive, like pigs, young pigs, be boiled, be broiled, like pigs." "Why don't you even say that?" Sweetie snapped. "Go away!" And she opened the closet to shout at the ghost and get it to leave her once and for all. The closet was empty. A shoal of shadows nipped at her hooves, and the little hospital bed seemed bigger than before. Larger, huger, faster, greater, grander. She was alone. Her eyes watered, and with her heart and soul, blood, bile, bones, she wished she was home again. Yet, though the sky stars sparkled through the window, the stars weren't in a wish-granting mood that night. Wishes couldn't help her. Magic wouldn't soothe her. It was up to Sweetie herself to spin the feel of home there and then in the hospital. "Rarity," she whispered. "I need you." There was a moon-gleaming pause. Behind her, Sweetie Belle imagined the sound of her sister's hoofsteps. She didn't turn to look. It made it easier to pretend that Rarity was in the room with her, and not fast asleep in the boutique. "Whatever's the matter, darling?" she imagined Rarity saying. She gulped. Come along, dear, spit it out." Sweetie answered in a moist voice. I'm scared. I'm scared that something's gonna go wrong tomorrow, and I'm not gonna see you again." Still she didn't turn, and still she pretended that Rarity was whispering in her ear. "That's okay, Sweetie darling," she imagined Rarity saying. "Every pony gets scared, every filly, every foal, every mare, every stallion. Every pony. What matters is the manner in which we face our fears, and how we conduct ourselves when chilled by the shadow of fright. You are Sweetie Belle. You are kind and loved, and you are not alone. You are brave. Don't forget that. Don't you ever." Sweetie, shiver, shook on the cold tiles. Finally she turned, and in the light of the moon she climbed back into bed, lonesome and home-yearning, yet warm. Rarity wasn't there, of course, not really, yet despite that fact she wasn't there. Sweetie felt her presence. She felt it in her heart. "I'm not alone," she told herself. "I'm scared, but that's alright, because I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone." And because she wasn't alone, she found the courage to comfort her nightmares and sing them away. "Cursed be he that moves my bones. Cursed be she that digs." There's a whisper of nightmares, a voice in the gloom. "What are you doing, sickly Belle?" said the ghost in the closet. "Those are my words. I didn't give you the say-so that you could steal them." There was an edge to its voice, as though it sensed that no more was it the captain of Sweetie Belle's fears. Sweetie sang louder. "Cursed be they who tease. Oh please, give me a break, oh please. Friend in the dark, you nasty ghost, a cardly at least. A card at least, a bully at most." "You think I'm teasing you?" said the ghost. "You think I'm a bully, a pest, a nuisance, a hassle hound? I'm simply telling the truth. My luckless ghost to be. I'm merely getting you set up for the next life." Still Sweetie refused to listen, instead singing louder, louder, and louder. "Loved be they who sing, who play, who laugh, who kiss, who hug, who wish, who share their bliss, who listen to this. Fathers, brothers, sisters, and mothers, friends so loved by me, you see, my friends so loved by me. They dwell in my heart, then in my dreams, best friends so dear to me, my friends so dear to me." Sweetie closed her eyes, and she felt so loved, so exceptionally, exceedingly, extraordinarily loved. And now she imagined that she wasn't just herself, snuggled wrapped in the sheets, but her mother and father as well, her sister and her dearest friends. As long as she kept her eyes shut, nothing could prove otherwise. So as long as she kept her eyes shut, she could imagine that they were really with her, and their love thundered in her heart. "I'm not afraid of you," Sweetie hissed at the ghost in the closet. "You're just a big old meanie head, and I'm not afraid. Anyway, if I was a no-hoper, Rarity would be here. If I was a final stop, my friends would be here. If I was at the end of the line, every pony would be here, because they wouldn't leave me alone when I needed them most." The truth of it blossomed in her heart. The fires of friendship blazed through her little body, setting alight her legs and hooves, belly and lungs, her horn. Sweetie Belle opened her eyes. She gasped. There stood the ghost. When she had first heard the tremble voice in the gloom, Sweetie had pictured something deadly terrible, a shadow wrapped in darkness with fangs of midnight. But now that the ghost had revealed itself, it was nothing of the sort. The ghost was a Nightshine filly, a Stardust pony, a foal made from the stuff of moonlight with wide eyes and trembling lip. The ghost looked younger than her. She was shaking and her eyes watered with ghost-shine tears. When the ghost spoke again, she sounded different, like another pony entirely. The foul tones were dropped. Her voice was as soft as the falling snow on the calm December night. "But how do you know you're so loved?" she said to Sweetie. "So what if you're not dying? And how do you know somebody loves you if they don't visit you when it counts?" A gulp thought came to Sweetie Belle. Her voice was scared, half a step above breathing. "Did you really visit your own funeral?" she asked the ghost. "Did you really listen to every pony talk about you?" The ghost answered with a hush, then shook her head. "I didn't go," she whispered at last. "I was too scared to." "Then why lie? Why were you teasing me?" Now the ghost tapped the tiles with the hoof and blushed the colour of moon dust. "I dunno. Seeing you there all alone in bed made me feel... Sweetie interrupted her. "Lonely?" The ghost gulped. "I'm sorry I terrored you," she said. "I don't know what came over me, but you didn't deserve that." It was an hour past bedtime, yet the feel of midnight had arrived early, that special feeling of sister hugs and of facing the darkness with bravery and courage. There were other forces at work that night, besides those of darkness and terror and loneliness. They worked inside of Sweetie's heart, drawing strength from the fires of her friendship. "What matters," she had imagined Rarity saying, "is the manner in which we face our fears, and how we conduct ourselves when chilled by the shadow of fright." The ghost was tiny and lonesome and shaking, her tears glowing brighter. Sweetie shuffled under the sheets. This is a kind of a big bed here. I don't know if maybe..." There was no need to finish. The little ghost smiled, and her smile transformed her from a creature of tombstones to a spirit of pure day shine. Her fur glowed brighter, brighter than the stars, brighter than the planets, brighter than the moon, and then she laughed and climbed under the covers. Sweetie wrapped her forelegs around her, ghost-warily no more, but peaceful. "I lie to you, no," whispered the ghost. "It's not fun being a ghost. Ponies don't notice you, even when you need them to." "Ponies don't always notice you," Sweetie answered. "That doesn't mean they don't care. It doesn't mean they're not there, or that they don't love you. Anyway, I noticed you." "Only because I teased you." But what the ghost had done in her loneliness didn't matter to Sweetie Belle anymore. The two of them were together now, and that's what counted. They closed their eyes and sang in the darkness. "Lost be those who fear, who hate, O lonely, lonesome ghosts, forgotten, mislaid, missing, astray. It's what we fear the most, you hear. It's what we fear the most. Yet in the dark, in this room, in this dreary, frigid gloom, we find new love, new love, new love. We let new love take bloom. Blessed be they who love, my dears. Blessed be they who love." That was Cursed Be He That Moves My Bones, written by Lucky Dreams. I hope you all enjoyed. Apologies for not singing the song, but I don't know it, and I was a bit unsure of it. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Stay brawny!
Hey! Don't forget, you can decide what stories I read for only $5 a month. All you have to do is join Midnight's Pack as a pup on Patreon. So come join the pack. Link is in the description. Also down there is a link to my Twitter, where I post links to all the videos when they're uploaded, as well as maybe a few tidbits about my life. Not that anyone would actually be interested. Or maybe you just want to watch more Midnight. Well, go on ahead. Links to the latest vid and ones you might like are on the screen. Stay brony, my little pack, and keep watching that moon.